Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, TLG Acquisition Corporation just filed an 8K, and it looks like they are trying to buy more time to find a merger partner, and I am seeing a couple of interesting financial choices here. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company is basically extending its deadline to complete a business combination, and they are doing it by making a smaller payment this time around. So TLG Acquisition Corporation, a company that is essentially a shell company looking to merge with another business, has filed this report to update us on a key decision. They are asking for more time to find that business to merge with, and this usually comes with a cost. What is interesting here is how they are extending their deadline. Typically these SPACs, which is what TLG is, have to put a certain amount of money into a trust account to get an extension. In this case, they managed to get their shareholders to approve lowering that monthly payment required from their sponsors. It used to be the lesser of 5 cents per share or $25,000, but now it is the lesser of 5 cents per share or $10,000. It sounds like a small change, but for a SPAC, every dollar counts, and this makes it cheaper for the sponsors to keep extending the deadline. This decision was made at a shareholder meeting on the 15th of April, and get this, almost all the shares that were voted, about 91%, were in favor of this change. That shows pretty strong support from the shareholders for giving the company more runway. Looking at the vote itself, a huge majority voted for this extension. There were over 5.4 million shares voted in favor, while only about 2,100 voted against it. This clearly signals that the investors who are still involved are willing to give management more time to find a deal, even if it means extending the company's life on potentially favorable terms for the sponsors. However, not everyone is playing the long game. Some shareholders cashed out. About 13,817 shares were redeemed. This means those shareholders decided to get their money back from the trust account instead of waiting for a merger. It is a pretty small number compared to the total shares outstanding, but it's a sign that some investors are losing patience or have found better opportunities elsewhere. So, after the shareholder approval, the company officially notified the transfer agent that they intend to extend the termination date by another month. This extension is from late April to late May, and it's all conditional on those sponsors putting that smaller deposit of $10,000 into the trust account. And they did. The sponsors made that deposit, and just like that, the deadline is now pushed to May 29th. This is the 6th month of extensions they've potentially secured, as the filing mentions they can extend up to 6 times. This is a common strategy for SPACs that are struggling to find a deal before their initial deadline. It is like adding more innings to a baseball game because the score is tied. All these changes are formalized in an amendment to their founding documents, their Articles of Association. That amendment is attached as an exhibit, which is basically the official paperwork showing the rules of the company have been changed. And signing off on this report is Young Cho, the Chief Executive Officer. Now let's look at the bigger picture here. TLG Acquisition Corporation is a special purpose acquisition company, or SPAC. These companies are formed with the sole purpose of raising capital through an IPO and then using that money to acquire or merge with an existing private company. They essentially go public to buy a private company, rather than going through the traditional IPO process themselves. The clock is ticking for SPACs, and if they don't find a target company within a certain time frame, usually 18 to 24 months, they have to return the money to investors. Extensions are common, but they signal that finding a suitable merger partner is proving difficult. The fact that they lowered the cost of extension payments is a huge deal for the sponsors. It makes it financially easier for them to keep the company alive while they continue their search. It is like getting a discount at the grocery store to keep buying food. This tactic can prolong the life of a SPAC, but it also means investors might be left waiting longer for a deal or a return of their capital. The key takeaway is that TLG Acquisition Corporation is still in the hunt for a merger, and they've made it cheaper for their sponsors to keep looking. However, the continued need for extensions often indicates challenges in executing a merger. We've seen many SPACs struggle after their initial merger announcement, and the extended timelines can sometimes mean a less favorable deal for shareholders of the combined entity. What I am actually looking for in the next filing is any hint of a confirmed merger target or a clear path forward. The risk for investors in SPACs like TLG is always dilution, and ultimately if no deal is struck, a return of their initial investment which could be less than what they put in due to fees and expenses. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit like, subscribe, and join our Discord community linked below.